What's up, everybody? Welcome to the latest edition of Hoth Topic, a special edition, that is, because we just got a load of Star Wars content dropped to us. So guess what, guys? Again, it's not just me today. I've brought on my buddy from the Sarlacc Digest and years of friendship. We've got Scott Kruger.
Hey, what's up, nerds?
Hey, check that out. So Scott's going to go with me through here as we break down all of the new announcements. And of course, because we're us, we're going to theory craft the hell out of them and get things out that are probably never going to happen so we can get disappointed when they do. Okay?
That's what we do best.
Absolutely. That's why we're here. That's why we started doing a show, right? Like, we do this online anyway. Might as well go online and show everybody else how dumb we are.
That's right.
All right. So we had the big Disney investor meeting, right? I think everybody knows that. We don't have to go through a bunch of fluff, do we, Scott?
No, not at all.
Not at all. So we got just a ton of stuff come out. Every nerd should be super excited. And I'll tell you what, here's the thing, Scott. There's a lot for everybody, right?
Oh, yeah.
I don't anticipate liking all of these. So, I mean, if I do, I do. That's great. But there's got to be one or two. When you go this many things at once, there's going to be something I don't like, and it's not for me. And then I'm okay with that. So I just want to set that expectation up front.
They're giving us enough to where if we don't like one or two things, that's fine. It's like Resistance. You know, we had Resistance. Obviously, we are not the demographic for it. So, yeah, no.
So now we might be wrong, and maybe all 10 or whatever of these things are going to be perfect for us, but we'll find out there. So what we're going to do, guys, we're going to go one by one through them. They are kind of in order from what I think. I was, you know me, I'm opinionated. Kind of like what's going to be super important in the lore, we're going to leave for last.
Okay.
So if I don't think it's as important, we're just going to knock that out the way. The first two being obvious to me anyway. So we'll talk about Visions first, okay? So Visions, Scott, if you can read off what Visions is going to be.
Okay, Star Wars Visions, presenting all new creative takes on the galaxy far, far away. Star Wars Visions will be a series of animated short films celebrating Star Wars through the lens of the world's best anime creators. So it's an anthology with 10 little short animes.
Does it say short?
It does.
Okay,
this
is short.
Short films.
So short films. I'm wondering what I was hoping when I heard this in 10. I was hoping, because we've seen all the little things they do, the Galaxy Adventure stuff, the anime style, right?
Right.
Yeah. I would dig that if they did each movie full, front to back, even if it was half hour or 45 minutes, because they can condense them with that kind of stuff. Yeah. Half hour, 45 minutes of every cinematic movie. I was taking Solo out thinking they just wouldn't do it.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm looking at the key words here are short films. So, whenever you get the short films at the beginning of, say, a Pixar movie, you get a between 5 to 10 minute long journey and whatever that little story is. So I think we're definitely going to get, here I'm saying definitely,
maybe
confirmed, definitely, maybe
stamp it.
That's right. Signed and sealed. We're going to get something that's at least a little bit longer than the minutes to minute and a half Galaxy of Adventures that we've been getting.
Oh, no. I always want those expanded. I want those, like they said, big time. Like, give me a New Hope in that style. But I don't know if it's reimagining, because it says reimagining the old stuff, right? Isn't that kind of the...
It just says celebrating Star Wars through the lens of the world's best anime creators. Let me see a little bit more. We'll bring 10 fantastic visions from several of the leading Japanese anime studios, offering a fresh and diverse cultural perspective to Star Wars. So, I don't know.
It's hard to read, huh? Hard to read it if it's like a cultural perspective of what we already have or something new that they want to see. So either way, that's really, we have little on that and not even much to theory craft on. So I don't know if it's going to even be too lore heavy. Do you?
I doubt it. But have you seen those little fan-made anime shorts that they've done with like
the TIE Fighter?
Yeah. Oh, I mean, if it's anything on that level, it's all win.
Yeah, I'll take it all day.
Yeah.
And matter of fact, just throw me content and I'll be happy all day. Dude, I was the other day asking for Grogu shorts of him just being trained by Jedi Masters for 3 minutes, annoying them, right? I mean, I'll take anything, obviously, if I'm asking for that. So, dig it.
Absolutely.
All right. So the next one, Star Wars, A Droid Story. Can we get a read on that?
As Lucasfilm continues to develop new stories, the intersection of animation and visual effects offers new opportunities to explore blah, blah, blah. Let's see. Lucasfilm Animation teaming up with the visual effects team at ILM to develop a special Star Wars adventure for Disney Plus, a Droid Story. It's going to introduce a new hero guided by R2-D2 and C-3PO. So
I don't even know where to start. Is it like we're going Captain Antilles is the new hero? Are we going post-Tross? Is this canon? Is this care? Do we care?
I care because it's Star Wars, but it's like, is this a reimagining of droids? Are they going to maybe bring some of the animated characters from droids back into it? Possibly.
We get all those. They just start doing the radio stuff or the little records, and we get the hoojibs and everything.
Yeah, I mean, hey, bring on the hoojibs. Let's do this.
Huh? Those two to me like seem like this might be a really cool CGI thing, right? Like they're experimenting with some technology.
That's kind of what it reads. What I'm reading here with Lucasfilm Animation with an ILM. So to me, that seems kind of like they're pushing the animation envelope a little bit farther, because they've done really well in that digital animation to where. Like Rebels. Let's take Rebels in the latest Clone Wars, for example. The characters look kind of animated still, but the backgrounds are damn near spot on real world, they do dogfights and all that. Maybe they're trying to push that animation more realistic.
Yeah, maybe that would be, you know what? And this is where it would come from, right? We talk about the relevance and social, we talk about it all the time, right?
Yeah.
Cultural relevance and social relevance. That's the kind of thing that Lucasfilm has always been known for under George Lucas and beyond, right? Is pushing the envelope of things like that. So if anything else, and we get something cool CGI and something new that's going to help everything else out, that'll be at least interesting to watch. I don't know story-wise because, again, we don't know anything about it. But I'm betting Marco will dig it since those are like his favorite characters, and we can see it through the lens of R2 and 3PO.
Oh, he'll freak out with R2-D2. But ILM, you're right. They brought us the technology that created the dinosaurs in Jurassic Park. So I mean, those already, what was that, 20 years ago? That's already
antiquated.
Oh, but well done.
Right. And it still looks good. It still looks good.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see the next one. You can't see this one up there. I'd say the Max Rebo Band, a musical special starring Zac Efron. So that's going to be fantastic. You didn't catch that one?
I didn't catch that one.
Oh, sorry. Well, we're going to jump into the films for a second, okay, away from the series. And we're going to talk about Rogue Squadron. What you got on Rogue Squadron?
The next Star Wars feature film, directed by Patty Jenkins, who did Wonder Woman and the new Wonder Woman 84. The story will introduce a new generation of starfighter pilots as they earn their wings and risk their lives in a boundary-pushing, high-speed thrill ride and move the saga into the future era of the galaxy. There's a lot of key words in there.
Yeah, let's walk through that one a little bit because Rogue Squadron. I know Rogue Squadron, and Wedge would be leading that, correct?
Back in the day, Wedge would be leading that, but I mean, I read all the books, I read all the comics. I was a huge Rogue Squadron fan. I love those books, even into like Wraith Squadron and all those crazy books. But
I'm not thinking we're getting that.
I don't think so either. That last bit in that sentence was move the saga into the future era of the galaxy.
Yeah, where does that go?
Yeah, are we looking past the Rise of Skywalker? Are we? Yeah. Or is it just the nebulous future era that we're going to be moving into?
Like post Empire, you mean? Like just do that? Yeah. Or you mean just like, I could
or like the far future, who knows?
Oh, like way out. But the rebirth of Rogue Squadron, like their historical figures.
Yeah.
Under Grogu, the 800-year-old Jedi Master.
I'd sign up for that.
I would sign up for that. But that's not where that's going. I'm excited Patty Jenkins is doing it, right? Because I do like how I didn't love Wonder Woman. I was never a.
I loved Wonder Woman.
I know you did. It wasn't horrible. It just didn't grab me. It looked stunning, and Godot was perfect, and even Chris Pine was cool. Everything was cool. Yeah. I just didn't love it. The way I thought it was. I thought it was overrated. We'll just say. Okay. That was it. But it was decent. I've watched it several times. But anyway, so I was excited to have her doing it. I just don't. With her talking the last couple of days, I really just don't think it's going to be. It's definitely not going to be Wedge. Is how I see it. So I don't know what we're doing, man. I don't know.
She did a lot of talking about her father and the inspiration behind behind this movie. if she wants to incorporate some of that into it, she could bring Wedge into it as like a father figure mentor of whatever this new squadron is, you know.
Like, well, like him and Snap, like get Snap younger. If we're doing that, I'm that's where I'd like it. Like if I was gonna theory craft it and say, oh, it's a Rogue Squadron movie, I would put it in there with Wedge as the Top Gun instructor type of thing, right? And you got everybody else coming in. That would be cool. A Top Gun in space. I'm all for a Top Gun.
He's like the Tom Skerritt character from Top Gun.
Yeah,
yeah.
That's what I would. I don't know what to like. I don't know what to want right now.
I don't either. All I know is that I see the words Rogue Squadron and I immediately get excited. But just the question, the unknown variable about it is that last bit. What does that mean? The saga into the future era of the galaxy.
I feel like it's to me, again, it's weird that it's one of the feature films, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. If I'm going to put out movies, it's that one. And let's just jump real fast to the next piece, right? The next piece is the Taika Waititi Star Wars Schoolhouse Rock combo.
A brand new Star Wars feature with acclaimed filmmaker Taika Waititi. I can't say his name. Waititi. It just says it's in development. It's going to be fresh, unexpected, and unique. That is sense of humor.
If they don't have off-world Jawa saying Waititi at some point, I'm gonna be really upset.
Yeah.
Unique. The Star Wars logo. Did you see his tweet today?
I did. Yes.
Said, "Well, as a lifelong Star Wars fan, I can't wait to be angry with how I ruined Star Wars."
And that logo that he popped up, you called it whenever we were talking earlier. It is definitely Schoolhouse Rock.
Oh,
looking.
yeah, for sure.
Or Monty Python. It's one of those two.
It could, that's another feature film. Those are the two feature films. Is why I wanted to jump to that one right now. What's going on? Why aren't these like big, epic sounding? Like maybe my nerd self can't let go of needing a Jedi in a feature film. I'm okay with the Rogue Squadron if it's stuff we know, right? I think it's risky if it's people we don't know. And Wedge isn't even exactly a household name to carry a film, right?
He's not, but you know what? I guarantee you people are going to be logging in, are going to be buying a ticket to see X-Wing fighters fly. That's what they're going to be into. It's got X-Wing fighters. Who knows who they're going to be fighting against? Because are they going to be who knows? But it's like Rogue One. We didn't know anything about Rogue One. We just had a general idea of what the story was going to be. It's how they got the plans. This is about how they train pilots.
I don't know.
I don't either.
Nothing. And she has a lot to say about it, but says nothing.
Right.
So I don't know. I'm cool with it. I'm excited it's her. I just don't know that Rogue Squadron is the film to get everybody back to happy about Star Wars films again. I hope I'm wrong.
I hope you're wrong too. I feel like they're using the word rogue to really get people excited.
Yeah, and isn't that weird enough that if it's not going to be related to Rogue One, and all of a sudden we have Rogue Squadron, it's just like they would have to play it in there. That's a homage, right? That's an homage to them. You'd have to say it somewhere.
I would think so. I mean, they really played that up in the comic books lately with
and in a certain point of view was like, gag me with it, right? I mean, it was like a lot. It was a lot.
It's all about what's your name, Jyn Erso, and how rebellions are built on hope.
And it was Cassian's line, for God's sakes. She swiped it.
But back to Taika's film. Do we look at that logo that he did and like kind of, are we looking at the Stone Age of the Star Wars universe? Are we going back in time? What are we doing?
I kind of like that. No, not back in time, just to a planet we wouldn't know anything about. Maybe a less developed planet. Okay. Or a developing planet. I wouldn't say, to use Kashyyyk is not the right way to look at it, but a rock version of Kashyyyk, right? Like whatever planet. I don't know where Rook was from. I forget where the Nogri were actually from. Something like that, maybe. That's kind of oddball too, though, for a film. Whatever it is, it's going to be oddball because it's him.
Right, and you don't get odder than him.
Right. So I don't. What is it animated? I mean, the logo is so different. It's got to be some kind of animated film, maybe, or like you said, Monty Python view, like a slapsticky comedy.
It could be. I mean, we're here's the thing too. We're looking at all of these different almost different genres, because I could look at one of the ones we're going to be talking about later on down the list here. I could see that being straight up almost a horror film.
You and me have been on the same wavelength for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Straight. I knew as soon as you started that conversation, you'll see back in the playback, I was ready for that. Yes.
Yeah.
Horror too. They're all over the place.
Mm-hmm. So we've got like a Top Gun. We've got what could be our first Star Wars comedy. With Taika. I mean, that's just a guess, of course.
Yeah.
We've even got a spy thriller that we're going to be talking about.
It's a lot of stuff. So I mean, like I said, a lot for everybody. We might not all dig it. I hope we do. Like I said, there's a lot of books out there, and I don't love them all.
Yeah.
Right. But maybe that's my worry, Scott, because the ones I don't like are the pilot ones. I don't like the Alphabet Squadrons. I don't like Battlefront 1. I do like Battlefront 2. I like that one. But the other books are not my cup, so I'm a little worried about that one. Taika Waititi, I have faith in it, because you know what? The Marvel ones, when I thought they were going to be campy and corny, those are my favorite ones. I love the Guardians of the Galaxy. I love Ragnarok. I love Ant-Man. And I love the comedy in Iron Man. I love all that kind of stuff. So if they can do that and give us one of those and not make the whole thing like that, because there's obviously comedy in Star Wars. It's a whole galaxy, right? It has everything we have. Mm-hmm. So, which
is why this would work. If I was just thinking about that whenever I had said horror and this, the spy thriller. In our world, we've got all of these things. We've got scary stuff. We've got spies. Why wouldn't it exist in a galaxy far, far away?
Right. No. So again, they're not leaving us much. So those are the films. To me, the guys might say different on Monday, and you might say those are weird choices.
Rogue Squadron, to me, I'm thrilled, actually. I'm putting all my chips on all my credits on the table here before I play my idiots array.
All the chits are down.
All the chits are down, man. I'm pretty excited about this one, because as corny as it is, I love Top Gun. All those Rogue Squadron books. I mean, I devoured those books whenever they came out. Written by Michael Stackpole back in the 90s and early 2000s. They were great.
Matter of fact, there was a little bit of Twitter yesterday with him and Patty, because some fans were saying, "Hey, Michael, are you going to be helping out on this?" Or blah blah blah. He's all, "Well, nobody has called me about anything, but if they want to ask, this is where I knew it wasn't going to be Wedge." I kind of felt like they weren't going the Wedge route. I think he kind of led to that too during the tweets. But Jenkins had retweeted the whole thing and said, "Thank you for your inspiration. Take care."
Okay,
good. I got this. But I don't think it was rude or anything. I'm just like, she's all, I don't think it's gonna be that. You don't need your help, because I'm gonna be like.
All right.
Wait, hold on. Okay. These were Rebellion. These were 60 T65s.
Yes, they were
on that thing. 'Cause there was a discussion about that too today. And I did catch somebody that used to draw Dark Horse comics comment on it when somebody was saying, "No, those are the later versions we would see with the half round
engine,
right?"
Yeah.
Oh no, those are the T65s. I drew them for Dark Horse for years. You can see where they connect, and they blah blah blah. I'm all, oh yeah, he's sure enough, he's right. So those are Rebellion X-Wings.
But it's also just a little teaser, a little tongue-in-cheek, fun teaser. So
but they know how we are.
Nothing. Oh, I know
how we are. They know we're gonna
pick it apart.
You put an X-Wing up there, you better have it right.
Oh yeah. No, but
and they know that. Okay, we'll move on.
Yeah.
Next. No, getting into the series. Okay, these are a little jumbled as far as order, because we know a little bit more about these kind of things. So I'm just gonna go at it. Okay, we're gonna start with Bad Batch, because we've known about it for a minute. What you got on Bad Batch?
The series follows the elite experimental clones of the Bad Batch, first introduced in the Clone Wars, as they find their way in a rapidly changing galaxy in the immediate aftermath of the Clone War. So, yeah.
So we go from the last episode of season 7 right into Bad Batch, it seems. It looks like it's going concurrent, because you can see the trailer or the teaser had a little bit of Order 66 going.
Yeah. So, interesting.
Yeah, well, okay, here's where we're going to theory craft a bit. This is why I wanted to go into the series.
Okay.
Because we saw Fennec in that cut too, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So Fennec's already connected the Mandalorian to Bad Batch. No problem. And I can see where Fennec would even fit in. And she is older, right? Like the actress, I lost her name right now, but she's like
Ming-Na Wen.
She's 53 or 50-ish. So she can fit. She's okay.
Is she really?
Yeah, did you know? Seriously?
I mean, I've seen her back in the ER days, and into Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and all that. I didn't know she was that old. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Wow. All right.
So now I don't think she'll be part of this because then it would make we'd have a little problem right now unless they fix it later. But in Bad Batch, I think they're going to play a part with Grogu. In at least getting him out of the temple.
Oh, okay.
So, and you've seen me spouting off about Quinlan Vos and everything else, right?
Right.
I can't imagine you would have a group like the Bad Batch and they not have any dealings with Quinlan Vos. Like he hasn't taken them on a mission somewhere because it would be too perfect, right?
He does seem like the kind that would have the Bad Batch with him.
Right.
Yeah.
This is taking me somewhere I wasn't going to go because now I want him in the show with them. But all my initial plan was get him to take him out of the temple. He'll be the one to save him. And then he'll give them to the Bad Batch and he can go on his journey through the comics or wherever they're going to take him. Mm-hmm. But that was kind of where I was going with that. So if we know he escaped, we know Grogu was taken and Bad Batch exists. I was kind of hoping to see that. So that's where I'm at there. What do you think there?
That's an interesting approach to it. I got to say that whenever they first announced the Bad Batch, because this was one of their very first announcements a few months back,
right,
that this cartoon was coming. And kind of like, I felt like, but do we need this? Is this really a necessary story? And then I see the trailer and I'm like, okay, yeah, they're picking up right where the Clone Wars left off. They're intertwining Order 66 with it. They're going into the Empire. Because I just didn't want another show that's set during the Clone Wars. It's like, that's run its course. It's done. It's complete. Yeah. But now that we're moving into the Empire, and I really like this idea. I mean, it'll never happen, but I love the idea that they would have a part in Grogu's safety, getting into safety.
I like the idea a lot, too, of this now, because we say that, right? But there's this 19-year gap we don't have a lot of, just the Solo years, right? And the Rogue One bit right before. And I guess Rebels was, what, 4 years? Or
yeah, 4 years to... I was going to say right up to about Rogue One, when Rogue One.
Oh, yeah. It was right before Rogue One.
Yeah.
During, because they were there. Yeah. But, all right. Hold on. Sorry. Let me get my train back. Which one are we on right now? Sorry. Bad Batch.
We are on the Bad Batch.
Yeah. All right. So, yeah, I'm trying to think. Okay, this 19-year span here. We're going to get Kenobi. That's all we really have in Cassian now. So we're filling in this 19-year gap pretty good, actually.
We are.
So that's really what they're focusing on. So this Rogue Squadron. No, it wouldn't take place before that because they just called themselves Rogue. Hold on.
Rogue One. Yeah, he just. And
we just heard Luke name the Rogue Squadron after them, so we know that didn't exist first.
Right.
All right.
Yeah, this is definitely an homage, or Rogue Squadron is definitely an homage. But the Bad Batch, I mean, it makes me want to ask the question: are these soldiers, are these clones, since they're experimental, are they also aging rapidly? I would assume so.
Yeah, I would think so. Were they okay? That was my thing. I forget. Were they experimental or were they screwed up? Or a Bad Batch? According
to this, it just says elite experimental clones.
Oh, maybe that's what it was. I can't remember. They did explain it. I just couldn't remember.
Yeah.
I'm excited about Bad Batch, so I'm good with it. There's a lot of ways they can go. We can see the missing Jedi. We can see them help with the hiding Jedi or saving cities, kind of like during the Purge or during the Imperial takeovers, and watching that kind of stuff. I think that's cool. And the fact that they don't look like clones is neat. I suppose everything has a plan, and these guys can walk around town and not look like Django and be cool, right?
Right. And it just seems to me like we're looking at clones that apparently don't have a chip in their head.
Yeah.
So they're going to be there witnessing their quote unquote brothers, taking out their generals. I don't know what that's going to look like, because it almost looks to me like it's going to start off right there at Order 66. So,
yeah, we're going to start out with our hearts thumping, because Order 66 to all of us is really emotional anyway. So even starting with it's going to have us all cranked up.
I'm looking a little bit farther. I don't see anything about. I'm assuming it's Filoni led, but it doesn't specify.
I thought it said too, but yeah, if it wasn't in that part, because I know what you're looking at, I thought it was Filoni led.
Yeah. No, it doesn't say anything. Doesn't say the name. So I'm assuming, though, I mean, he's kind of like, he's the go-to guy. He created these characters. So, why wouldn't he be involved?
Right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, here we go. Next one. This is a big one. Okay. Lando.
You
got on Lando.
Everyone's favorite scoundrel, Lando Calrissian, will return in a brand new event series. Let me see. Justin Simeon, creator of the critically acclaimed Dear White People and a huge Star Wars fan, is developing the story. So what are we thinking? Are we thinking, because I've heard a lot of people say they think it's animation. I've heard a lot of other people say we think it's live action.
Well,
do you think they'll get Daniel? Do you think, what are you thinking, man?
My hope is this live action.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been posting what I really hope is old Lando, Billy D, sitting there at a sabacc table, messing around with a table full of aliens, telling old stories about how he got out of stuff. And it could be different days, right? Different card tables, winning, losing, different capes, whatever. Just keep switching up old Lando out of outfits, right? And go around telling, oh, no, how about this story I got, blah, blah, blah. And then it flashes back, and you have Donald Glover doing his things and his adventures. And it could be with Han. Have Aaron
I don't think you can see the goosebumps on my arms right now.
Oh, man. Can you imagine? You could do that animated, too. Don't get me wrong. And both guys doing the voices would be fine. It's not like they haven't done voice work, either one of them. But it would be something about having them two, like, on screen playing, not off each other, but off each other. Right? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
yeah. Who could be more Lando than the two Landos? And I just, like...
God, that would be so great.
So... Here's the deal. There were all these rumors. We had Solo 2. We had Maul. All these things. Do you think that rumor really just turns into Lando? An event series?
That's a possibility. I mean, not to be completely non-committal on that, but that's where I see this kind of going.
Right, because event series is different than limited series, like Kenobi will say in a minute, right? Kenobi's a limited series. A lot of these are limited series. An event series sounds big to me.
Yeah.
Like this is going to be some kind of gangster crimson. Okay, now I'm going way out of board with the event. The one word event throws me into a loop, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, and thinking sequels, I'm thinking that we're going to see Lando and how about the Battle at Tanab? Anything like event, something big.
I didn't even think about that. Yeah. Because they haven't even touched that in the comics or anything. We've never seen the Battle of Tanab. So if they don't hit on that, now I'm going to be disappointed if the Battle of Tanab doesn't.
It's not the big event for him. Yeah, right. See,
right.
So it's kind of wild. I don't until we know who's cast, and I mean, we'd be suckers to think that Glover and Billy D would not. Yeah, I want to be Lando. Sure. I
gotta be all honest with you. I think it would be easier to get, and I don't want this to sound bad. I think it would be easier to get Billy D. Williams than what's Donald Glover's rap name? Oh God.
Can't I just call him Donald Glover?
Okay. But I mean, his music career is huge.
Yeah.
So it's
Childish Gambino. There you go.
There you go. Childish Gambino.
Ooh, man, I had to get that out of there before it got stuck.
His music career is so big, and it's kind of overshadowed his acting career now. But man, if they can pry him away from that just to do this series,
it's only going to be an event series. It's not going to be huge. Right? I take event as in very limited. I'm thinking like 4 or 5 episodes. Right? I'm thinking this is quick. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's a longer one for a bigger thing. Who knows? Right? But I need those two. I need that played out. I need old Lando telling stories. Do you have any other wish besides that?
Han and Chewie to show up. I know Eunice would put on that Chewbacca suit in a heartbeat. All they got to do is say, "We need you," and he's there. He's on a plane.
100%. Do you think the fans are all right on Aaron right now? Are we all good? I'm good.
The proof is in the pudding, man. It was a fun movie. He did great. By the end of that flick, he had the mannerisms down. I'm sold on him being Han. Now, get this. What if, it's old Lando and what if they got Harrison Ford to come in and sit across from him at the sabacc table? Imagine that.
Look, Harrison, here's the deal. It's only going to be one day. We have all your lines done. It's not much, right? We'll give you $3 million. Sit down and talk to Billy D. Just change your clothes a couple of times, twice maybe. Because Han doesn't change
What are you talking about? He wears the same jacket.
Right. Just leave the same jacket on. Billy D changes every time, but he don't care. Yeah. So, why is that not? Oh my God, dude.
Yeah, I honestly think that if that were the case, though, it would be Lando and Han. I think it would be, if you get Harrison Ford to be there, I think it would
be called Scoundrels.
Yes. Yeah.
Instead of just Lando.
But man, could you imagine?
Oh yeah.
Let's make this happen.
Could. Yeah.
I'm gonna
start hashtagging something. You know what? 3 people follow us on Twitter, so I'm gonna go ahead and make sure of that. All right, so I'm really excited about Lando. Just so everybody knows, I love me some Lando. So let's see how
ready.
that goes.
Yeah,
I'm excited about all these, by the way. So here we go.
Yeah.
The Acolyte is up next.
We're gonna skip. We're skipping Andor.
Did I skip Andor again?
You skipped Andor again.
Oh, go back. Sorry.
Okay. No
Andor.
problem.
I have done that a couple times, dude. I that must be telling me something, and I'm okay with Andor now. I know I gave it crap in the beginning when it first got announced. I'm like, there's like 500 things I want to see. Where did Andor come from? But I'm cool with this because this is filling in that time frame. Go ahead. Sorry, what you got?
Andor, a tense, nail-biting spy thriller created by Tony Gilroy, which that right there, that's great, is set to arrive on Disney Plus in 2022. So here we go. It's the first thing that was actually announced, and we know this has been coming for a while. I'm pretty sure they're already done filming it. It's in post-production.
They started 3 weeks ago.
Oh, did they start it only 3 weeks ago? Well, yeah, COVID kind of threw everything for a loop.
Everything got spun, yeah.
But yeah, Cassian Andor's back. Genevieve O'Reilly playing Mon Mothma again. The one name that didn't pop up here was Alan Tudyk, but the rumor has been that K2SO was going to be back. So
I thought the same, and I figured Jimmy Smits too, but not necessarily. But I would assume Bail Organa would be in it somewhere.
I would think so, but
right.
I mean, there's a lot of names in this that I'm recognizing. Like Stellan Skarsgård is in it. I mean, that's a great name. Fiona Shaw. I know Fiona Shaw from something. She's somebody.
I don't know. I like when they're nobody anyway. So I didn't know who Diego Luna was, to be honest with you. So I mean, I like Diego Luna. He's cool. I like Cassian's character. I just thought, like I said, I thought it was weird, but I do hope that K2. If they're going younger, Cassian, maybe it would be like near the end when he catches up with K2,
Probably.
Depending on what they're doing with this and how they think it's going to go.
We were watching this because yesterday I put it on the big screen in the living room. We watched all the trailers and my wife looked at me after Andor was done and she said, well, I'm ready to watch Rogue One again. That's my favorite. Let's do it. So,
nice.
Yeah.
Now, we have a lot of opportunity in here for a lot of crossover stuff too, though, right? I mean, this is stuff where everybody's alive. So again, you can have solo crossover. You can have Lando and Cassian cross over somehow, like Rebels do.
You could have Rebels crossover into it. We could actually see Ahsoka possibly because she's Fulcrum.
Oh my God, dude! If we get a Fulcrum logo come up and then Rosario Dawson or Ashley Eckstein voicing Fulcrum,
right?
It would be Eckstein at that point. Have Eckstein come in and voice it, and then then Rosario could show up.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah, I mean, the possibilities are endless for this time period because what was his line? I've been in this fight since I was 3 years old.
Or 6
years old.
Yeah,
6 years old.
Either way. But yeah, he's going to start out as a kid roughing stuff up. Wild. So yeah, I'm figuring we're going to got to see the droids because we're not going to see Leia.
We could see that. We could.
They couldn't bring Leia. You don't think they would do that? I think we're done with Leia.
I think if we see Leia, it's going to be in a hologram.
Hologram or voice.
Right. Yeah. Which is what I keep wanting to see that in The Mandalorian because we know at this point in time in The Mandalorian, the New Republic is forming. Yes. We're seeing X-Wing fighters out there. I'm ready to see some kind of a hologram of Leia talking about the state of the galaxy just in the background.
I agree.
Or something. But they could absolutely in Andor do that. They could have her, even though Bail would be probably the more prominent Organa.
Yeah, because she's still only going to be. Oh, yeah, because it depends on how far back this is. Because she's only 19 at New Hope, so
right.
Really, yeah. If it goes too far back, she was a senator young.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you think we'd see? I still think we'll see Breha and Bail. I would assume.
That'd be cool.
On there. So.
Yeah, that'd be really cool.
All right, I didn't mean to skip Andor. I do respect Andor. I do want to see it. I am excited about that one.
Yeah.
All right.
So,
like, I'm not excited about the rest of them. So now, the Acolyte is up, which is the coolest logo of all of them with the lightsaber slash through it.
Yeah.
So what you got on Acolyte? The Acolyte.
All right. Okay. Star Wars: The Acolyte. The Acolyte is a mystery thriller that will take the audience into a galaxy of shadowy secrets and emerging dark side powers in the final days of the High Republic era.
What the hell? Right? So. This is coming out in 2022 or 2023, did it say?
It doesn't. Well, let me look at because that's it. That is all we get.
The way I take it is we're getting pumped for High Republic, right? They put out a whole bunch of stuff we can read for free today. They've been putting out excerpts and everything else, right? Hell, they're letting us talk to Daniel Jose before, and we got Kevin Scott on Wednesday with you and I, right? We've got a lot of stuff going on for High Republic, lots of things. And all of a sudden we get a series about the end of it. So this is all building up to that. So we're going to read all this stuff knowing that at some point it's going to culminate. Is that you think that's the final days of the High Republic? That means that's the culmination. That's the event.
That's it. Yeah.
All right. So that's pretty cool. I'm going to let you do. What do you think on this one?
Sure. I'm leaning heavy into just in my mind, I'm leaning heavy into the whole Darth Plagueis. And his master Darth Tenebrous. Was it Tenebrous?
Tenebrous, yeah.
Tenebrous. There we go. I'm leaning heavy into that because that would be about the right time. Now, in the Phantom Menace, Qui-Gon and the Council say we haven't seen a Sith Lord in over a millennium. Right. So over 1,000 years, there has been no sign of the Sith at all.
Right.
So I don't think we're going to get a big Jedi versus Sith battle in this. Agreed. I think if we get anything, we're going to end up having a Jedi getting killed at the end of this. Some Jedi discovers something, Darth Plagueis or Darth Tenebrous or whatever, and that Jedi is not going to survive. There'll be a mystery behind it, but I think it's setting the stage for what we see in the Phantom Menace and the original trilogy.
I agree.
That's where I see it going.
I looked it up to see how long a Bith lived, right? And Bith are between 170 to 230 years old, right? Okay. So that fits where Tenebrous could go. Now, this is the Leyland-led movie, right? So it's a female protagonist.
Oh,
Leslie Leland, or is that her name?
The Academy Award-winning creator of Russian Doll, Leslie Headland.
Headland. Sorry, yeah. Leland. I said Leland. Oh, my bad. Yeah. All right. We'll learn these names as they become Star Wars names.
Oh, yeah.
Right. Okay. But it is a female-led one. She did put out today, too. They're all tweeting, right? Obviously, all the creators need to. How, yes, it is a female-heavy, so to speak, type of thing. But it's not like I don't get the male version. So I love Luke. I love Lando. Blah, blah. She goes through. So it's not like that. It's just led by a female. Okay. Right. And I have no problem with that. I never do. You know what? My problem always is drowning and stuff. Right. So I'm okay with this. But that kind of either takes away or changes Tenebrous. It could be a female Bith. That's not a problem. But here's where I'm at. I think it's going to be one of these because in Dooku, you remember it was the Fallen, the Lost, right?
Right.
And they mentioned one of the Lost, and it was Master Tanis. Oh, I lost the name. Trennis.
Okay. I've only listened to it once.
It was this. It was one of the Lost, right? And Yoda even says, "Oh, Master Trennis, that was how sad that was." And they mentioned High Republic throughout that book, and that's a Kevin Scott story,
right?
Right. So one of the Lost, not a Sith, but left. I'm hoping that's
interesting.
Person.
Okay.
And they remember there was a Bogan collection and lots of dark side artifacts and what have you.
Right.
So this is like an early. This is why they started that collection, I think, is because she's going to get a hold of some holocrons.
Okay.
And maybe this is what I'm hoping. This is how we get into Old Republic stuff. This is our edge in. And the holocrons are open it up. This is where we start the rule of two, where she gets Darth Bane's holocron, right? And then here's from Revan, who is where Bane got the idea as well, like learned from his mistakes and everything else, right? Mm-hmm. So she goes through these holocrons. We see these old masters, and boom, there we are. And we've got a link to the Old Republic. We have a new one that's going to lead into everything else, right? Even Darth and Dedu holocron, right? Undeadu. Yeah. I want that to lead us into Vegas.
You give me a little bit of Exar Kun and Eula Keldroma in there, and I'm golden. That make me happy. Just say the names.
You got to think with right. See, I'm all for name drops too. When you just said a minute ago, like in Mandalorian, waiting. I just need a Red 5. That's all I need to hear. I don't need to hear Luke. I don't need to hear Leia. I just got to get back. Red 5's calling. Red Leader's calling. Whatever it is, I need something like that just to bring it. Anyway,
that'd be cool.
The Acolyte. I'm all in on this. I can't wait because now I know that we're building for something, or I feel that we're building for something. And this is like we reckon back. I always harken back to Shadows of the Empire when they did the multimedia with the game, the book, the soundtrack, the figures, the comics. this is bigger because now we're going to have a freaking series and a series of stuff.
Right.
So,
yeah. Now, some of the other things I've heard. Well, number one, I was going to say, you know what? Just because we're hanging our hat on the Darth Plagueis and Darth Tenebit, I'm not going to be able to say his damn name. Doesn't mean that. I mean, Darth Plagueis is canon.
right.
The other one's not.
True.
They don't have to make him Biff. They don't have to make him
Right.
Tenebris. They can do anything they want from this point. It's going to make people freak out, but there's also nothing saying that the Biff master wasn't female.
Yeah. No problem at all. I wouldn't have a problem with that change.
I wouldn't either.
No, and it would make sense. I think they're going to leave Plagueis as is, right? And I think changing the other masters makes sense for what they've done and seeing the path. And that's not a big deal.
It would also give us our first live action female Darksider because Asajj Ventress, she was animated, and she wasn't necessarily a Dark Lord or anything. She was an assassin. With dreams of becoming a Sith, but
that's this one here, just an acolyte. This might not even, she might even get swiped down and killed at the end, right? And just pass on what she's learned. We don't know. Again, that's the beautiful thing. We got years right now. We have years of fodder just to feed through and make stuff up. And this is just the first 2 days of making crap up. As we get little bits of information and leaks, which is going to drive me nuts over these years, we're just going to go ridiculous.
I also heard that it's possible this one could be animated. And I'm like, I don't know if I want this one to be animated. Yeah. I want this one to be like we were saying at the beginning of the show. I want this to be the horror show that we've never had in the Star Wars universe. This is setting the stage for it. There's no reason that it shouldn't be.
Yeah, this is the spy thriller, the everything, the whole. I think this one. Oh God, I hope it's live action. Now again, you and I had talked extensively about the DC animated. Right. And how well they do in those films and things like that. So, and we've said they could just do everything Star Wars in that style and we'd be okay. But now here we are, spoiled as we are, now knowing these live series exist and they can do anything they want. Mm-hmm. Now I'm like, okay, I want live action, please. Like,
yeah.
And that's horrible.
They do it so well.
Person. Yeah. and I know it's hard, but I'm okay going back and forth. Like I am like with the Bad Batch, if they link in Fennec and they put in Grogu in there and stuff, I'm okay with that, obviously, because we have Ahsoka jumping back now. Yeah. I don't mind them telling intertwining stories between cartoon and live action either.
Not at all. It's worked pretty flawlessly so far. So, if they keep on this path, they keep on this light side path, it's going to be magic.
Which is funny because I'm such a dark sider, but the light side path is definitely rolling. All right.
But this gives us such joy.
We're almost there.
Almost.
All right. How about Obi-Wan Kenobi, the longest rumor ever in history?
In the history of Star Wars.
Anything.
Seriously. Lucasfilm announced the return of Ewan McGregor in the iconic role of Jedi Master Obi-Wan Kenobi, officially titled now Obi-Wan Kenobi, which I read a point on that I'll get to in a bit.
All right.
The series begins 10 years after the dramatic events of Star Wars Revenge of the Sith, where he faced his greatest defeat. Which I would have thought that was kind of both a defeat and a win. But
you would think.
But
the defeat in losing his apprentice, right?
Losing everything, right? Literally, he won that duel, but lost everything in the meantime.
So 10 years in, so we're smack in the middle. So again, crisscrossing, because I'm assuming Cassian's going to be right around here too. This is when Solo takes place, just so we're clear. We can crisscross a lot of stuff. Now, who was confirmed in this one, Scott?
Let me stop drinking for a second. We are looking at Master Hayden Christensen.
What the
is Darth Vader?
How did that happen? Okay.
No idea.
Here's the funny thing is, I was sure he was coming back. We had these rumors for a while. That was no problem. And we figured it would be flashbacks, Clone Wars flashbacks even. And I thought they were using, I lost the dude's name, the Magistrate's gunman, Michael Bihn's outfit as like a test for Anakin's Clone Wars suit, because it looks like it, right?
It really does, yeah.
And it did look good, because I watched it again the other day, and it does look good.
Such a great episode.
I'm thinking it's going to be flashbacks like that. But they're saying they get a swing at each other. Ewan McGregor said we get another swing. Kathleen Kennedy said the rematch. They're going to see each other. So the automatic Twitter response question is, Scott?
Yeah.
No, why? They haven't seen each other from episode 3 to A New Hope, because when I saw you, I was but the learner. But we certain
Now-
that was for 19 years.
Yeah. I don't know, man. It's just
Right.
that one came out of nowhere.
Yeah, it did. So I had to
Yeah.
theory craft that one quick because people were getting angry online. It was fast. I mean, it was like quick. But then it was like, you know what? It's not a big deal. They met again, and Obi-Wan snapped some wisecrack at him, says, see, always the learner.
Yeah.
And before they blast, and then here's Anakin. Now, I like this idea that they fight again. Obi-Wan bests him and tells him he's still the learner. And then later on, when Vader sees him on the Death Star, it's more of a sarcastic comment, even more sarcastic. It's like, oh, yeah, I was the learner. Punk.
Now I'm right.
Going down.
So whenever this happens, whenever this duel, apparently 10 years before A New Hope, it can't be on Tatooine because I mean,
Right.
if they duel and Obi-Wan wins and Vader, is taken away, but if it's on Tatooine, he'll know where to get him. So he's got to get off the desert. He's got to get out of the desert for a little while on an adventure of some sort. Is Luke? He can't have Luke around because Luke says he's just a crazy old man. He doesn't know anything about lightsabers.
Yeah, God, where does he
there's-
go? Who's he go
I
with? He's not going to go
don't
off with
know.
Ahsoka, is he? It's not impossible.
It's not impossible. That would be cool, but this could be where we get Hondo. I mean, Hondo and
Oh,
Obi-Wan.
yeah.
have a
That
relationship.
makes so much sense, dude. That makes so much. We have time. That's right. Hondo makes the sense. Hondo needs to be in this.
Hondo links everything together.
He does, and he can get him around the universe because he just fly. He'll be his pilot. That's going to be the buddy cop. That's what's
that'd
going to
be
happen
cool.
right now.
Oh, they're
That
going to end up
decent.
on Batuu. They're going to end up on Batuu, and
Easy
they're going to.
pickings, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely confirmed.
That confirmed. Now, I did like the Kenobi book, but it wouldn't have carried any weight as far as lore goes, really, and it wouldn't have had Vader.
Right,
So that book's out. So this is all fresh stuff again. It's Deborah Chow.
right.
So
She's and it says she's directing it all too. So I'm like, all right, cool, bring it. Let's
Yeah,
do this.
100% trust after season 1 of Mandalorian. I have
Yeah.
no qualms whatsoever. She did the Sin, right? I mean, just making sure.
Yeah. She
Yeah.
did the Sin, and didn't she do a second one? Did she do? I don't remember.
I thought she did, but the Sin is my favorite one.
Yeah, the Sin's fantastic.
So,
So here's the thought also. I find it odd, and I read this online, and I agree with it to a point. The show is called Obi-Wan, and this is just nitpicking for the sake of,
Sure.
we're Star Wars people. That's what we do.
That's what we do.
Obi-Wan Kenobi is the title of the series, which is an odd choice because he pretty much says he hasn't gone by that name since before you were born, which is right there whenever he lost everything.
You're
He
right.
kind of became Ben. So why wouldn't the show just be called Kenobi? There's
Or
no
Old Ben or anything, but Obi-Wan.
something. Yeah, Obi-Wan Kenobi is an odd choice.
Maybe he's learning. Maybe he's losing himself, and that's the point. He's losing Obi-Wan, becoming Ben, and we're right in that point where he's more Ben than Obi-Wan.
Okay.
Maybe it's some kind of philosophical thing. We'll catch. I'm really hoping here. Now, I'm kind of stretching, if you can't tell. That's all I got, man. But
Or it could just be a title.
I didn't think about that, dude, because that's a miss to me.
Yeah. So
That's not nitpicky
it's-
at all. That's a miss. Damn.
It all kind of depends on how it plays out.
Well, no, he said I haven't gone by that name. He didn't say I haven't heard that name. He just said I haven't gone by that name.
Since
So he's still
Obi-
Obi-Wan. He just doesn't go
Mhm.
by it.
right.
Okay, I can sort that through my head, I suppose.
Yeah, we could. I still think it's nitpicking, but
Am I getting Qui-Gon ghosts?
Ooh. Yes, definitely.
Thanks, because I wanted them. So
Well,
you said no, I was going to be sad.
Here's the thing. During this time, he's also supposed to be learning how to become one with the Force, and he was told to do that using Qui-Gon, the spirit of Qui-Gon. So why the heck not?
Oh man, that means he's going to have to go train where Yoda trained, right? That's where he's got to go.
You'd think so.
He has to go to Dagobah. He has to go talk to the crazy emotion people, will people looking.
He's got to go to Moraband.
Yeah, he's got work to do. So I mean, this could be cool.
This could be real. Wait, what? Okay, what if he goes to more? All right, here, theory crafting. He goes to Moraband or Korriban. I don't know what they're calling it, and I know it's both. Either or works. What if he goes there and it's one of those Force not really a Force ghost, but a dark side apparition of Vader that he's battling?
Oh, nice. Kind of like the Dark Yoda and his.
Yes.
Yeah. So his fear is Anakin again.
Anakin again.
I like it. I like
All
it.
right.
Or young Luke falling, or Vader killing young Luke, or somebody killing young Luke is his fear.
Or young Luke teaming up with Darth Vader.
Oh, that's it. There you go. That's the one.
Yeah.
That's the one. That's
All
his
right.
fear.
That
I
would
like it.
Okay. There we
All
go.
right.
Why aren't we writing this stuff?
They need to call us. After this one, they're like, we really should have called them. I don't know what we're doing with it. They're ripping up scripts now. They're like, these guys had it.
Right.
Next one. We're gonna go farther with the guys. Dude, this is us getting this off our chest so the Sarlacc Digest show doesn't go 6.5 hours on Monday.
Yeah. I honestly think we should have done this after the announcements and had but it's given us some time to sort through.
I couldn't have talked the next day. I was still a mess, dude. This is the first chance I can focus. All right. Rangers of the New Republic. What you got?
Set within the timeline of The Mandalorian, this new live-action series from executive producer Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni will intersect with future stories and culminate into a climactic story event.
This is what I've been waiting for. The reason this is down here in the lore piece is because I am really down with this taking place during The Mandalorian, Ahsoka taking place during The Mandalorian, and The Mandalorian taking place during The Mandalorian. And culminating in one event, right? Like the DC did, like everything else does in one big event. That event being what I've been talking about for weeks, Heir to the Empire. This is the new version. This is
okay.
I want clones. I want now the Mace Windu rumor has been hitting pretty hard, right? Like the Windu's going to hear the call.
Oh yeah.
If he does, I'm okay with it. If we realize later that it's Mace Windu with 2 U's, that he's an evil clone used or created by the hand that was left in Palpatine's office. And he's been in one of Palpatine's chambers, and they use these Sparti chambers, and they call them Sparti chambers that Gideon has, or that they have in the lab. They can totally do this. We're on that path right now.
You know what? As much as I didn't want that to happen, or I didn't want to see Mace Windu return, this idea of actually, I wasn't sure where you were going with the whole Heir to the Empire thing, but now that would make so much sense.
It's taken some time to work this one through because that could also be Ezra, it could be anybody, but Windu, because of the name just works too perfect, right?
They could just get rid of the double U's.
No, you need that to make it Heir to the Empire. It doesn't count, right? And then there's got to be a clone at the end, and it's Ahsoka.
Oh God!
And they have to fight a clone Ahsoka, right? Because at some point the Darksaber will cut off part of her head tail, and they'll clone her, and then they got to fight. Okay, I might be going overboard there, but it'd still be. Oh, that's where we get Luke's return, but it's Luke, and that's Sebastian Stan. And that way we can talk about why they look different.
Oh my God. And it would be just about the right time frame, wouldn't it? Because
it's perfect.
Yeah. 5 years after Return of the Jedi was Heir to the Empire.
It's right around the same time. It nails it. And this is still, everybody's fighting because I'm listening to Air right now too, right? Mm-hmm. And we're watching Mandalorian at the same time. The Empire is still fighting. The Empire still thinks they have some business in these places. It's the same thing going on. Right. So it's like, it's all flowing the same way, just with different characters and a few different stories. But with Ahsoka going, okay, let me put up Ahsoka's logo real fast too. Hold on. We'll give Rangers its due for a second, actually. I think this is going this way. This is the rebellion piece. Let's go back. I have the Rangers logo up for a second, Scott, just so you know.
Okay.
Obviously, this is the Cara Dune show. You think?
That's my thought. That's what I was saying. Actually, whenever I first read this, the Rangers of the New Republic was coming. I'm thinking out of all of them, this was the one I was least excited about until I read the description. And it's the description that Favreau and Filoni are heading it, and that it's culminating in this climactic story event. That's the only thing that got me excited about it.
I feel like they're going to be rounding up the posse too, right? Like they're getting ready for this Heir to the Empire event, where they have to grab their friends and the people that are going to help them out, whether we see a young Wedge or whoever, or they can bring in obviously we have people from around the show we're going to bring in, right? I imagine we're bringing back we just lost him right now, Bill Burr.
Yeah. Man, they were talking about, the guy who plays Gideon was talking about this season of the Mandalorian really starting to build up what's coming down in the future. Holy crap, man. He could be like, who's the, I'm trying to think, not Grand Admiral Thrawn, of course, but Paleon.
Oh, Paleon. Yeah.
Paleon. I mean, there's Paleon, but why need him? You don't necessarily need him if you've got Moff Gideon there.
Because even in Rebels, Paleon's there. Yes. They meant he did get a call, but he doesn't have to be the guy, right? Mm-hmm. And he can still be around too. But all sorts of things could be happening. And it's just the fact that we have the opportunity now. We have name drop Thrawn, we have Jedi, we have all these things going on. We don't need Luke and stuff. This is kind of like when they do, like say the Green Arrow verse, right? You do that thing without Batman, right? It's the same kind of thing. We're doing that without Luke and Leia and Han. We're doing the same thing event with that story that we all know. But
you don't need them if you've got Din Djarin, if you've got Ezra Bridger, if you've got Ahsoka Tano. You don't need. Yeah. But yeah, I'm suddenly very excited about this, and it could absolutely have no bearing on anything whatsoever. But it says
it may not in the huge event. Well, they're going to be our link to the New Republic. If we're going to get name drops and cameos of, I think, legacy heroes somehow. Mm-hmm. Pardon me. I think it's going to be in this show for some reason. The one I least suspect, but it's Filoni and Favreau, so should be the one I most suspect.
Right. I mean, I'm sitting here thinking, Marvel does it all the time. They take these stories that are in print. They take the Infinity War. They take Civil War, and they rework them with different characters in different times and put out this really quality item for everybody to watch. If they could take this original story and just manipulate it to have these different characters in it, holy crap.
Yeah.
Now I want it. Now I want it.
Yeah, that's why I went back and started listening to these again. Because I'm like, you know what? There's a way to theory craft this in. It can work. And everything. The only person the other thing was, when Dooku could have came, or this is when if you want to jump the shark or nuke the fridge or whatever, this is when Mara Jade comes in, if she wants to come in at all. Right? Or is Ahsoka the new Mara Jade?
I think
that's where we go. Ahsoka is the new Mara Jade, and then when Dooku comes back, or Jade comes in and answers the call from Grogu. There's a lot of things that can go on that can bring Heir to the Empire in.
And there doesn't have to be a romance in there at all. You don't. Yeah. And so
that didn't come till way later anyway, right? It never was in Heir to the Empire, so we're okay there.
So instead of focusing on Luke, does it focus on Ezra then? So I mean, Ezra's oh man.
Yeah. It's tough.
Yeah.
It's tough. Or who could have Ahsoka killed that Mara Jade would have been upset about? Because it wouldn't be the Emperor this time. Really, no, but Ahsoka's pretty damn good about everything.
Yeah, you can't really.
Yeah.
She's
so you'd have to play that one differently, right? You just have to hate Jedi in general instead of just Luke.
Or not.
Yeah, I don't know. I might have to write that down. I might have to do a whole day on this.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Let's flop it. Ahsoka's the good one. Ezra's the bad one that hates the Jedi. That hates. There you go.
I like that Ezra. Is it Ezra or is it clone screwed up Ezra that Thrawn is manipulated?
I don't want to clone Ezra. I want Ezra to be. I mean, Ezra's been with Thrawn this whole time. I want it to be Ezra. I want it. Well, yeah.
And but I do agree. I want Ezra. That was the original, right? That what we wanted was Ezra. If we're going to bring Ezra in, let's make him dark. I'd rather him be maybe not full blown Sith, but
just a fallen
Thrawn's side.
Yeah.
Right.
Fallen. And you and I have both been saying for quite some time now, Thrawn is not the villain that the original books, the Heir to the Empire, made him out to be. Whatever he goes through with Ezra out there in the unknown regions with these Purgils, maybe that's what drives him to be that a little meaner, for lack of better terms. Maybe this is what pushes him to be that villain.
Or is it because he sees the threat, the Grisk that Thrawn's been talking about?
I always forget about the Grisk.
I did too, because that goes farther. Because remember, the Yuuzhan Vong weren't Heir to the Empire. That was next, right? So what if we get the Grisk in here? That's a huge event, though. Could we handle a combination of the two stories?
I think that if we culminate in this big climactic story event thing, I think they postscript it like they do with all the Marvel things that, okay, it's over. Everybody's happy. Thrawn's gone. Whatever ends up happening, it's the end of that story. But then there, P.S., here's this other threat out there that's working its way into the galaxy. And you could show the Grisk. Now that Thrawn isn't there to stop them, are they now free to enter into our galaxy? Or I say our galaxy, but the galaxy to become a threat.
I never considered the Grisk existing outside of Thrawn. You know what I mean? So like, if you lose Thrawn, then how do you deal with the Grisk? Is it you leave it to the Rebel or to the New Alliance or the New Republic?
New Republic. The new Republic.
The new Republic that is half
Exactly.
demilitarized. Yeah. Oh, see, that's all sorts of good story for Thrawn. Because remember, Thrawn wants to protect his people. Is he better off building his empire, fighting Gideon's empire if they're not the same, or is he better going with the New Republic who's demilitarizing? Right?
Mm-hmm.
Where's his best bet? And I think it's still regrowing his empire. His Seventh Fleet is probably still the most powerful thing out there.
Could be.
Man, I can't.
There's so many possibilities. And it's funny. It might not touch on any of this, but the door is wide open for it to happen.
Right.
You know.
All right, let me put up the real quick. Okay. Actually, for Rangers, who else do you think could come in here? I think we got Mayfeld. Do you think Cobb Vanth for any reason whatsoever?
I would like to see Cobb return.
I liked him,
but I don't know if he is anything without the armor. I mean, he's just a dude. He's just a dude who's. I guess he's a pretty good shot. Maybe. I mean, we didn't really see a whole lot of gunslinging with him. You're
right. He's unnecessary. He's unnecessary. So we definitely got the pilots, right? We're gonna get not Connor. What's his name? The dude that keeps coming back and talking to Kara.
Oh, I don't know.
All right. Well, anyway, we'll get him. Maybe we'll get Trapper Fox. Maybe we'll get
Fox would be cool.
all
Trapper
these,
Wolf.
Trapper Wolf. Sorry.
Yeah.
Why would I say Fox? That's weird.
I don't know.
He's all about wolves.
He is.
We'll get those guys for sure. I imagine we'd have to see Mon Mothma. We'd have to see.
Do you think Fennec would go straight?
I think Fennec's dying, dude.
Oh, you do? Okay.
I think Fennec and Fett. Okay, here's the deal. If Fett doesn't take on the mentor, okay, let's actually talk about that. Let's stop before we even get to Ahsoka.
Okay.
There was a glaring miss in the shows again that were rumored, right? Misses, a bunch of them. One of them was Boba Fett.
Right.
Boba Fett had a very big rumor of having his own show. Well, why would you have?
Ernie's still holding on to that announcement coming in February, I think.
And maybe it is, but why have two Mandalorians on two different shows? This is the perfect time with the Razor Crest blown, right? With Din obviously having problems dealing with having his helmet off, learning things, and teaching the Grogu, right? How about him having a father figure who had a father figure, right? Who's missed his father, who would probably like to be a father figure for somebody else. So he can kind of be Din's mentor while Din's teaching Grogu. He should be on the same show, flying him around with Slave One. And when he finally dies, if he doesn't die sacrificing himself to save Grogu this season, right? If Boba Fett doesn't die already, which is fine, I'd dig him getting a cool send-off, right? Bring him back just to kill him for good.
Yeah.
I'd be okay with that.
In a heroic, and if not a heroic, but at least a meaningful way. Because I mean, his death in Return of the Jedi was so lame.
Yeah.
But
him coming back to save Grogu and make a big deal, that's cool. But I think him following suit and having them all together on Slave One, even with Fennec sacrificing Fennec or herself sacrificing herself to save Boba, whatever it is, I think it'll end up being Din, Boba, and Grogu for the next season at least.
God, that'd be so cool.
And then you can see more development from Din, because Din, I know we weren't supposed to talk Mando, right? But Din, after he took his helmet off, you can really see he got spooked, right?
Yeah.
Like spooked. He has no idea he needs somebody to have his back. And if Mayfeld wasn't there, he was hosed. So he is not. I like that too. Without his armor, he's not only weak to get shot. He's weak. Period.
Yeah. But it's funny because with the helmet on, he's still out there kicking ass. It's like whenever he had those pirates, he was wiping them out. It was amazing. It was a great trying to use the armor to deflect their swing. Here we are talking.
Funny.
We shouldn't be talking about this right now. We should be talking on Monday.
All right.
But
anyway.
I agree. I do think that The Mandalorian, if it's going to stay, because I think they still have 2 seasons left is what they're talking about, 4-season arc on this.
Yeah, at least.
There's no reason why it couldn't be the Din and Boba show.
I think that's what it needs. The Mandalorian, and as the Mandalorian, it's the Mandalorian culture is what it is. Mandalorian.
I agree.
That's what they all are.
Yeah.
So let me think real fast before we do this. Remember the rumors where we had a Old Republic thing coming, possibly, right? Take us way back, which didn't happen, but I think that's the Acolyte with the holocrons. I think we're going to get the link there. We didn't get the Boba show, but I think that's because he's linked in here.
Right.
We didn't get any kind of Vader or anything like that because he's going to be in Kenobi. We didn't get Solo 2 or Maul because I think that's all going to somehow link into Lando. So I think all the rumors we've heard though they were all kind of technically false, it's
There's
not like they were that
nugget
far
of
off.
truth in there. There's a
Exactly.
nugget of truth in all of them.
There's always some truth in legend, right?
That's right.
So, and the last thing, the big one, we kind of already hit it. I'm gonna
Yeah.
put it up right now. Is Ahsoka? If you want to go ahead and hit Ahsoka.
After making her long-awaited live-action debut in The Mandalorian, Ahsoka Tano's story, written by Dave Filoni, will continue in a limited series starring Rosario Dawson and executive produced by Filoni and Favreau. Again, goosebumps on goosebumps.
Yeah.
Every name is perfect.
Right.
Filoni, Favreau. When last we saw her, she got whatever the information she wanted to get from the magistrate.
Which is where Thrawn is.
Where Thrawn is. We heard in the interview with Vanity Fair and Filoni that the postscript scene in Rebels didn't necessarily take place before this.
Oh yeah. Oops. Right. I mean,
Yeah.
that was nuts.
Yeah. Get the information. Then you go get Sabine. Then you go off an adventure that will culminate into a climactic story event.
Oh, and see, and this is the one. This is the heart of that climactic story. Her limited series is the heart of Heir of the Empire right here. It's her piece instead of Luke and them going after. It's her and her crew, her and Sabine going after to stop Thrawn instead of Luke and Han and Leia. It's this crew.
So here's the question I'm going to ask you, and brace yourself for this, okay?
Yeah.
In The Rise of Skywalker, we hear a voice of Ahsoka Tano. Does that mean that she is passed into the light?
They say no, it doesn't mean that because she's calling, come to me, whatever, kind of like Grogu. Yes, to me, yes, she bites it before Rise of Skywalker. I think she bites it in this series, maybe, you wondering?
Or the whatever the climactic story event is, whatever that is.
Yeah.
There's always some kind of a heroic sacrifice in these things. And I would hate it because I love her, but it would make sense for Filoni to, see her character through to the end. Yeah,
he gets her from literally the beginning, huh? Literally, and dude, that's like Lucas with Vader.
Yeah.
Right. And
I don't like this whatsoever, but I just made that up as we were talking. So
what age is Ahsoka right now?
Let me see. She was about 15, 16 in the first Clone Wars episode.
Okay, so add 3, so call it 19 plus 19, 38 plus 9, about 47. Yeah. How old was Vader when he died? When Luke killed him?
He was near 50.
It's pretty. It was in his 40s, dude.
Was it in his 40s?
It was close. This is super close. So yeah, if it's poetry and it rhymes, and if we look at this deep, I haven't looked yet. So watch this. Whoever is watching this, and it's going to be us figuring out before anybody else. Look it up. Let's see if they're even close in age, and we're making things rhyme again, because Filoni would just do that just for George Lucas, right? Just to be just like him. I mean, that makes sense. Your Vader lived this long. My Ahsoka lived this long. It was perfect.
And his stayed to the light side the whole time.
Ooh, yeah, and if she stays perfect, this whole thing, saves the galaxy, defeats Thrawn, or whatever she has to do, right? Oh,
and it's because of her that the Empire is gone and banished out into the outer regions to become the First Order, because they can no longer hang in the main in the galaxy.
Yeah, you're right. You know what? Jakku should have ended it, right? This is the last bit after Jakku. New Republic's not even dealing with it because the pilots say there's stuff going out here that nobody believes us about, right? This is really going to be out here instead of, which it kind of was with Air too, right? It's not like they got super galactic, even with the Dark Force, with the dreadnoughts and what have you. So yeah, this is perfect. I'm in. This is easy.
Yeah.
If they don't do this, I'm gonna be pissed off. So do you think it's gonna be like Mando's running, Rangers is running, Ahsoka's running, and then they have one separate episodic hour-and-a-half special, or is it just one of their episodes kind of culminates there?
Like a crossover series?
Yeah, like the comics would do, or do you just go boom? Here's they all lead up to this one kind of Disney.
I would like to see it personally. I would like to see it like the Avengers. We have Mandalorian, we have Rangers, we have Ahsoka, all of them leading up into one big Heir to the Empire special, or whatever
special one shot, right? It's boom, here it is.
Or make that it says a climactic story event. I see story event, and I think that's more than one episode.
Leading up, so yeah, because leading up to a story event, I'm thinking it's part of the story event Their wording, see, they need to have their legal and people check this stuff because that wording is very tricky.
It will intersect with future stories.
Future stories, okay.
Future stories and culminate into a climactic story event.
So it'll turn into another story event. It's not part of the already. God damn, see?
Yeah.
I love it. All right.
Yeah.
So the Ahsoka logo, there's nothing to decipher that I could tell, by the way. I did look through it and see there was nothing there. It looks like it's just it has a world between worlds vibe on it, but it's also a galactic map, like an atlas. So she could be bouncing around looking for stuff, looking for Jedi, looking to help people. We see she's on a different path than any other Jedi would have been before. She's kind of on her own, not a Jedi. And she's not looking to rebuild, as you see with Grogu. She's Jedi been gone for a long time. The Jedi Order fell a long time ago. So she's not trying to do that. She never really tried to take over for Ezra because Kanan was there. It's not like this stuff it's just not her vibe.
And as much, I kind of hate the fact that I want to see it because I want them to be done. I want Luke and Leia's story to be I want to move on from that.
Me too.
It seems to me like in a series and an event this big, it kind of lends itself to having Luke and Ahsoka side by side meeting each other. Dude. And all right, could you imagine?
Dude, that's all I want. That's all
Ahsoka saying, I knew your father.
That's all I want. You have your mom's eyes. Something ridiculous. They'd be like, because she's the only one.
Yeah.
Who else would be able to tell him that?
She had to have known.
No,
Ahsoka had to have known.
No, I'm sure she knew, but who else would know Luke's mom?
That's true. Just Obi-Wan, and he's
not saying shit. Yeah.
No.
Oh man. Oh, he could have, but he never did. What a jerk. Right? Yeah. Ahsoka should do that. You look just like your dad, your dad's chin, but your mom's eyes, type of thing. Something like that. Or he says something, does something reckless. She's just like your dad.
Yeah, I mean, it would, or he does something and she says, that's something your mother would have done, or something like that, something to allude to that.
Or she walks up on him as he's settling a dispute, right?
There you go.
Got your mother in you. Oh man, so many cool things they could do to have that fit.
So,
right?
Sorry, I know everybody is screaming to have Sebastian Stan be Luke Skywalker, and I'd be down with that if all the Photoshop work that I've seen is legit, because I haven't investigated to see whether or not it's been all really, really doctored. But just give him a shave and a mop haircut, and
it did, dude. I was checking the same things. My thing is the chin, right? That's why I kind of said that, because Mark Hamill has a pretty cleft chin, if I'm not mistaken. When you look at the two pictures, it's like it's the same thing. Does Sebastian Stan even have one?
Yeah, he does.
Okay, then it's like exact. So couldn't figure out if they were just fixing. They just take the eyebrows and the nose and they just put it on Hamill's face. I wasn't sure. I mean, he looks close enough. I'd be cool with it. He's a good actor.
I would be too.
Often, I'm okay with seeing Luke. The hard thing is it's Hamill's cadence and voice. Right?
Yeah, he has a very specific.
He has a dramatic type, and you can. He may not be using it all the time, but it's in there, and you get a feel for it when Hamill talks. But it's always Hamill. Like no matter what you do, if I watch regular show and hear him as Skips, if I watch Batman animated and hear him as Joker, if I close my eyes and watch and have Star Wars on, I know it's Mark Hamill.
Right.
It pops out. You can always find his voice. So it's hard to have somebody play Luke and not be him. But again, dude, this is one of those things where we've seen somebody play Han, we've seen somebody else, play Kenobi, and he is Kenobi to everybody now. It's not like anybody's arguing about McGinnis or not McGinnis about Guinness,
right?
But we did, so I'd give it a shot. I don't know. I just want cameos. I don't want to see him do anything, to be honest. I want to see Luke or hear Luke, but I don't know if I want to see him.
If it's, I'm on the same boat. But if he gets an opportunity to play off of Ahsoka,
How about I could do this in an X-wing.
Okay.
They show up to because there's going to be a space battle at some point, right?
Star Wars, there has to be.
Against the 7th Fleet. All of a sudden, the entire New Republic shows up to start battling Thrawn's 7th Fleet and whatever else he has. And there you got Red 5s popping in. We'll know it immediately. And then you could CGI Mark Hamill younger inside of a X-wing. That would work.
Yeah, you could.
That's all I can get. I don't want him walking around. I just think it'll kill it. I don't.
No,
And dude, we can get the Falcon showing up. I mean, everybody can show up to the Heir of the Empire ending.
that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know as much as I want it. I don't know if they can. That's me daring you, Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau. I dare you. I don't think they can do it.
Because we know you listen.
Right. They do. All right, man. That's about it. We'll let the rest for the guys. We got plenty, and we'll try not to overdo and do all of this stuff on Monday's show as well. I think this went long enough, and we got our say. We're just gonna sit back like this, let the other guys talk.
Yeah. We'll just watch.
No, we're not. No, we're not.
We'll have the other guys that they are required. This is required watching before we meet on Monday.
Right. Let's see how close they are too with any of this stuff. And they're like, you guys are idiots. None of this is happening, which I agree with. All right, man. So, hey, Scott, where can I find you?
Hey, you can find me on the Sarlacc Digest. We're currently doing our Mando Monday wrap-ups. So you can find me there. You can find me on Instagram and Facebook at The Art of Scott Solo. So check it out.
Right on. And
you guys know where to find you.
Hey, everywhere. I'm on. Tell you what, get on our YouTube. You're here now. How about you hit that like? Get some friends to subscribe. Make a comment or two. Tell us we suck. I don't care. I'll blast back at you. Somebody told us we were the worst podcast ever not too long ago, and I'll take.
Really?
That. Yeah. It came on. It was purposeful. Bless them.
Okay.
But hey, just catch us on everywhere. And Twitter, I tweet a lot, but there's like nothing, like no love. So
it's Twitter.
It is.
What can you do?
I enjoy Twitter right now. There's a lot of information on there, and it's not repetitive as well. It's repetitive, but not as bad as Instagram, where everybody just reposts the same thing anymore. And I'm just like, I've seen this meme 4,000 times.
Yeah.
Anyway, but you catch me on Instagram too. So as I bash it, you can find me on there, on Hoth Topic Podcast and Sarlacc Digest. Wherever you're going to talk to Sarlacc, you're probably going to talk to me at some point. So sorry if I'm, taking a minute to get back. All right, but that's it. So until next time, guys, may the force be with you and take care.
Keep it nerdy, everybody.